Welcome back, friends, to the Palm Springs Wedding Experts Podcast, a podcast for the modern bride. I'm your host, Erica Mendenhall, and we are launching Season 2 today. And we have such a great guest, David Rohr from the David Rohr Floral Studio. Is amazing, friends. And today we're going to be talking all about your wedding bouquet, because as we know, there's several things that are eye-catching in a wedding. Obviously, bride and groom, the couple, your ring, your dress. But the wedding bouquet often gets photographed a lot. And a wedding bouquet can say a lot about you and your personality and the whole style of your wedding and your vibe. And you want to get someone who is very talented and knows how to put those things together, knows how to layer what you're envisioning into this beautiful arrangement. And the David Rohr Floral Studio does exactly that. The David Rohr Floral Studio specializes in creative and elegant full custom florals for weddings and all of life's special celebrations. David is a lifelong florist, meaning the third generation of his family to work with flowers. Like, that is pretty awesome, friends. Flowers are his love and his passion, and his work has been enjoyed by thousands in many years of his professional floristry. He has created arrangements for stars, presidents, royalty, and for neighbors, friends, clients of all situations. You know, what I loved about walking into the David Rohr Floral Studio is it's a workshop where they actually create the floral arrangements right there. Arrangements for your weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, life celebrations, and corporate events. Of course, today we are focusing on the wedding because that is what this podcast is all about, bringing you the very best in our wedding industry here in Palm Springs. I really believe in showcasing that to you to make your wedding planning easier. So without further ado, please welcome David Rohr. Hi, Dave.
Hello,
Thanks
Erica.
so much for being here. I'm
it's
super
so good
excited.
to be here, really.
Gosh. So, Dave, give us a little background about your creativity and your process.
Sure, I need to say also that it's so wonderful to sit here and actually talk to you because I never get to talk to the photographers at the weddings. It's always madness, running around, getting things all set up, and then we say goodbye.
I know.
And then I see you on a blog. It's
well,
really something.
It's really wave, high and by, and we're in and out. But
I am a third generation florist. I was born to be a florist. And you cut me right here. If you had a knife, you could cut me. I bleed green.
Oh my goodness.
And I just enjoy the whole process of floral creation and being part of such a special day.
Wow, that's awesome. So I've seen a lot of your work, and I know it's creative and unique. I haven't, I've been doing this a long time, being a photographer, and so I have to say, what you create with your clients is pretty much one of a kind. I've never seen it duplicated. I've seen similar things, but they never have that wow. That is just amazing factor. So how do you pull that together with your brides?
Question. Very good question. We love to meet with the couple, and I like to get a feeling for who they are, what the inspiration is, the effect they're trying to go for. We take inspirations from Pinterest, of course, one of the major mega things. We call it cracked for brides.
Right,
once they're on there, they're on there forever.
Yeah.
And we try to take their likes and dislikes and factor them all into one beautiful look. And I don't like doing repetitive bouquets because every wedding is special. It's you technically only get married once. Some people don't, but for the most part, it's one time.
That's the goal.
Yeah, it's the goal.
Yeah.
And so I try to make something really creative and wonderful just for that day.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, and I can relate to that because even when we shoot at similar venues, and it's probably the same with you find yourself, same color tones, same venue, same area, light, but a different bride. So we try to also incorporate
totally different energy.
Different looks, different energy. Yeah, absolutely. So do you, they come in, they do their consultation, you pull all of the things that they like and don't like and kind of weed through that because, I know for myself, I would probably not know even where to begin or what certain flowers are called. And so I know you probably educate them on all of that as well.
We try. We really try. And, understanding that a lot of the weddings we are doing are months out, sometimes a year away. So we're trying to discuss flower varieties in March for a wedding that's happening in December or the following March even for that matter of time. So my goal is to really find out really what the couple doesn't want and factor in what they do want. And because we have a unique way of going over the wedding planning process, we try to make it as, because they don't understand all the flower varieties and things, we try to make that easier for them. And I'll throw a larkspur up on the screen or something and say, this is larkspur, or this is Hypericum berry, and it's available in 14 different colors. No, I want them to know exactly what they're getting into. And I like to get the vibe from them of like, yeah, I like it, no, I don't like it. And we sort of move from there, and everything's custom. It's like a kaleidoscope, putting it all together.
Well, I do recall reading one of your reviews, and someone had mentioned that coming to your studio, which we're in, it's beautiful here, by the way, is like a workshop, because this is where they can see your creativity and your process come out. Do you think that's a reflection of being a third generation florist?
Well, it's interesting you asked that, because my great-great-grandfather, Herman Stapes, was actually what would be considered the first event florist back in the 1800s.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and he was in Chicago living with the Cudahy family, who owned Armour Meat Company.
Wow.
And he actually lived on their estate and handled all their floral decor for all their parties and their events and everything else. So he really was one of the first event florists per se. So it's kind of cool that here I am generations later, and I'm in it again. You know, so I can't break the mold. I'm trapped.
It's just in you. I think that's great. And so what are your thoughts on being here in such a destination place? I mean, I feel like for photography, we have such a wide scope of things that we can do as far as venues go and looks and things. I mean, is that similar with
Absolutely. This is an amazing place to get married. It really, really is. Because you can go up into the high desert, up into Joshua Tree, and that area, 29 Palms area, you know, Split Rock and all those cool places. Or you can go to a big country club venue with the beautiful grass and the pond and the fountains and the geese and everything and running around. So you can go to all different areas, and you can get quirky. You can go to the Ace and to the Saguaro. And what I find is that the brides and the couples that pick those, that's their personality, really. So it really helps me determine kind of the general look and feel of where they're going.
Yeah, and I feel like, I don't know about you, but for us, I always ask that they have a venue, obviously a date selected, because of that fact. The venue really helps steer us into colors or style of how, you know, we might shoot with them, and probably the same with you as far as what colors you're going to pull that might, you know, help reflect the ambiance there that's already going on.
Sure. Most couples are here way before their wedding, so they see Palm Springs area, the Coachella Valley, when it's beautiful all the time. They don't understand that in May it's going to be, you know, over 100 degrees. And we always tell our couples there's only two things we cannot control, and one is the temperature, the heat factor, and the wind.
The wind.
And I know you know
exactly what we
about
say.
the wind factor at 4 o'clock when whoosh, everything blows down. So because we've done so many weddings here, we've been here so long doing these, we are experts when it comes to knowing exactly what is happening. We can actually project what the temperatures and weathers are going to be through statistics, and give them a couple of idea of kind of what they can expect.
Yeah.
They don't like to hear it sometimes, but you know,
it's true.
It happens.
It's true, and I think because, you know, likewise, we've been here so long. I lived here all my life. Wow. We kind of know. We just know offhand what seasons, what months, when the weather might take a shift, and so it's important that we kind of, you know, educate them, especially. For us, a lot of them are destination brides. They're coming here. Like you said, they've spent time here. They loved it. They want to get married here, but they've only been here during those certain, you know, weeks on vacation. So
sometimes never they've been here.
Sometimes never.
Yeah,
you're right.
we do a lot of destination couples through email and telephone.
Wow.
And we never see them except on the wedding day. There's even been a couple we've never ever seen, you know, and we just drop the flowers off in our little presentation package.
Well,
and we just hope everything's okay. And we don't hear anything, so we hear no news is good news.
No news is good news. I love that. That's great, David. So tell us, what are you seeing so far? Any particular styles popping out yet? Here we are.
We are really seeing, we're seeing, I follow closely on Pinterest. I do watch the trends. I get the magazines, all the magazines, to try to get an idea of and stay relative to what's going on in the wedding fashions. But what we're seeing is a lot of the millennials that are getting married, they like green leaves, tropical leaves. Everything has to be renewable. And so we've even done bouquets of all greenery, you know, various greenery, which is they're kind of cool. The first time I got one of the orders, it was a destination bride. I never did meet her, but I saw through the review that she loved it. So
Oh,
I was relieved with that.
That's
But
so
it was
great.
it was very large and luscious looking with all these various greeneries,
Wow.
and it was very pretty. We're seeing a lot of the same colors. Colors have a trend, and
Yes.
we're seeing a lot of the very, very blush pink, the burgundies, the silvers, the air plants, succulents not so much hardly like they used to be. I think even flowers follow fashion trends.
Absolutely. What are those little silver things? They're like, this is silly, but like it's like a ball.
The brisa.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're little
See, I'm not
gray
educated.
things.
Yeah,
I'll have to show you
love
them.
those. Yes,
Yeah,
you will.
they're very cool.
Those are beautiful, and I love silver. So anything slightly silver toned, and I know the way you incorporate that, it makes it kind of a balanced harmony in your bouquets. That's
Yes.
what I've noticed.
Yeah, a lot of times I try to pick different varieties of and textures because it's pleasing to the eye. I think you as a photographer realize that when you have various textures and depths and things, it makes the picture more interesting.
It's interesting that you say that because I think a lot of our favorite photos are layered in
Yes.
depth and texture. Different things will shoot through a bush or through, some kind of greenery or some foliage or something to, give it a different look with things going on. And I think that's what I've loved about your bouquets is that you have texture and it really gives it that wow, unique factor that it's a talent and it's a gift, obviously inherited through the lineage.
Well, we know that they're going to be photographed. We also realize that the wedding day is like probably one of the most coolest, important days in your entire life. There aren't any do-overs. If there are do-overs, it's going to be really expensive for someone, okay? But so I know that I put everything I've got into it. And so much so that, and to get back to about the depth and dimensions, I actually utilize a mirror. When I make something, I look in the mirror because it is not physically dimensional when you're looking at it through your eyes, regular sight. And that gives me an idea of really how it may be photographed. So if something is too packed together, held together, and it doesn't look balanced to me, it's not going to look balanced to anyone else. Because I may be just being picky too, okay? But I also understand that I want to give something really cool for the photographer to get.
Well, we
because
appreciate
that's
that.
half the fun of it,
We
you know?
appreciate that.
Yeah. There should be a surprise in everything,
Speaking of surprises,
Yep.
David.
I love surprises.
I know. So David is known for something called the floral first look. Did I get
Yes.
that right? Okay.
Hashtag floral first look.
Hashtag floral first look,
Yes.
everyone. I love that. That is one of the things that I enjoy photographing, especially when I know that they've hired you to come along and be there.
It's kind of a trademark.
For it.
Yeah.
It is your trademark here. In fact, back in, I want to say maybe 2002 or a while ago, I had done my very first wedding. It happened to, well, not ever, but like wedding at the La Quinta Resort. And that bride had this white box. And I thought, what is this? And it had a name imprinted. It had the couple's name imprinted on it. And I just thought it was the most beautiful thing. And then it turns out it was from you.
It's me.
So I've been a fan ever since, back then.
Well, my philosophy is that it's just, it's such an incredibly special day. I mean, why would you deliver, the wedding dress isn't delivered, just in a plain brown wrapper. I would never do that for the wedding bouquets. And it's such a festive, special occasion. I want the bride to know that when I walk in the room with that box, that it's real. It's really going to be happening. Yeah. And the fun part for me is watching her unwrap it.
I love that.
We use lots of layers and stuff, so it's kind of frustrating a lot, And they always stop and look. And it's the first look. And that's why I call it the floral first look, is kind of how I coined that thing. And I figured I would either find out whether she was going to throw me kisses or I was going to see Judge Judy, okay?
No.
So, one way or the other. So that's kind of been a thing. And I think that it is such a special thing. It needs to be
a special time.
A gift.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a gift from me to them as well.
I think that's really nice. And it shows that you care. And I think that's another just step of your value to them and creativity that you bring to the couple. We've had bridal parties surround the bride. We've made it kind of a fun event when we photograph them.
Sure.
And so I know sometimes you even include the bridesmaids' bouquets along with.
Absolutely.
And so that's really been fun, especially sometimes if there's a little floral crown for the bridesmaid or the little flower girl.
And they're usually the bigger hit than the bridal bouquet.
I know.
The little girl's getting
it's so
something,
tiny
Yeah,
and it's
it's a lot of fun.
adorable. So yeah, that's just been really awesome. We'll definitely share that with our viewers and audience.
I used to hate to do weddings too in my past. Okay, a long time ago when I was on the East Coast, I had a florist there for a million years. And I never could understand what a wedding was all about until 2008 when I got married to my husband. And I realized that after that wedding day, I realized how incredibly special it is. And what an awesome moment. You can't describe it to anyone unless you got married. You got a wedding ring? You married?
Do.
See, right here. So you know what I'm talking about, right? And I tell my couples at the table, I said, you think you know how you're going to feel on your wedding day? I said, you get to own it yourself.
Yes.
But it is the most awesome day on the planet.
You really can't describe it.
No.
You know, even when we do first looks, people say, well, you know, I want him to see me down the aisle for the first time. And I try to explain, and I'm all for that. You know, don't get me wrong at all. But it's still different because that is a first look with your florals is like a first look with the bride and groom or the couple. It's still unique, and it's just the two of you, and it's a special moment, just as important as coming down the aisle.
Absolutely.
Equally. So I think you can have both, and that's what I suggest.
Well, what I liked about it, the whole situation, the takeaway for me was that it was so awesome that when I couldn't figure out my direction here, what I wanted to do, florist-wise, I said, I'm going to specialize in weddings, and that's where I went. Because I figured I want to be a part of that special day, and I know I can make their day special.
And you do.
That's what we do.
You do. And his reviews, I mean, your reviews just speak volumes.
We have a few, sure.
You have 125, if I can recall, on just like the wedding wire and the knot alone. So you've done amazing work here. That's exactly why we wanted to have you on the podcast, because we believe the David Rohr Floral Studio is an expert here in Palm Springs, and you deserve to be recognized for the hard work that you do.
Thank you.
And we appreciate always working with you. It's always been a pleasure.
Every day is a surprise.
Every day is a surprise, and I think that's probably what we both enjoy.
Sure.
Even though things can get sometimes a little, crazy busy
They
during
do.
season here, but that's what drives us creative people.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
Yes.
We love it. Hey friends, thanks for listening so far. I just wanted to pause real quick before part 2 of our interview with David Rohr starts, and I just wanted to say thanks. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for your encouragement. Thanks for being super excited, just like me, to not only be on the air now, but also in video. So if you wanted to pop over to our YouTube channel, you can see David in action putting together the Floral First Look box just for you, just like it's going to be on your wedding day. So David, you're explaining to us how you incorporate the textures and the different balance and harmony with your bouquet.
Right.
So I'm excited that he's here to show us actually an example of his awesome work. So take it away. Tell us, how did you come up with this?
Let's show you this bouquet. This actually is probably one of the more popular looks for weddings these days. It's an overabundance of material, I think, but it's very large and full and luscious and wonderful. I've used infused the thistles up on the top. That's that little silver, one that you were talking about.
Yes.
That's that brisea.
Brisea.
And what's really been popular are these air plants, because they last forever.
Right.
And you can actually take them out of the bouquet and keep them forever and ever.
Isn't that brilliant?
The flowers on the front, of course, with the burgundy dahlias are great. The main colors that I've seen for this season so far is, of course, the silvers that you pointed out, and the very, very pale blush pink, and the burgundies. And we see this even being also carried into the fall, where the reds are gone, but they're using dark blue and sort of a blue delphinium that's very, very pretty and gives a real richness. There's an infusion of desert type materials, I would call them. This is the silver dollar eucalyptus here.
Oh, see, that's gorgeous.
And on the back side, I can show you here is like the seeded eucalyptus with the little seed pods.
Oh, great.
I love using this type of greenery because, we have issues out here in the desert, right?
Absolutely.
It's called heat.
So, and they wilt before your photos.
They will,
and
they can.
Even your ceremony.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the biggest services that we actually provide is we do let our couples know what will and will not hold. If they're really, they've got to have what they've got to have, we caution them. And a lot of times I'll tell them, no, I can't do that because I know it'll wilt. And the worst thing for me, because I know you'll catch it, okay?
I'll catch it.
She's the photographer here.
And I don't want to have to Photoshop your roses.
That's right. You catch them when they're all drooped. I don't like that.
Yes.
I want perfection on the wedding day, so that's the way it is. And also, I brought this along today. The boutonnieres.
I love this.
For the guys.
Okay, I love this. It's amazing.
I took sort of cues from the bouquet and put it in here. Usually the guys don't want a big, huge flower or big, massive flower. So I have a little baby air plant in here.
That's great.
A little bit of the same thistle that's in hers.
Yes.
I put a little white hypericum to give it a little bit of this little berry here, and this beautiful greenery in the front. There's just a little touch of it here. So it does resemble like it's been plucked out of her bouquet. And the story goes, I'm not sure if you know of how the boutonniere came about.
No, I don't.
But in the olden days, millions and millions of years ago, when the dinosaurs were roaming the earth,
Right.
and the groom was standing up in the front of the church waiting for his bride to show up, she would walk down the aisle and meet him, and she would break out of her bouquet.
Nice.
And it would be put in his buttonhole.
Right.
That's why the boutonniere. So that's why I like to kind of like make it more of a ceremonial type thing where it resembles the bouquet.
Right.
And that's good. And one of the cool features is that we also use magnets on the back of these.
So this is brilliant.
This is a lifesaver.
I mean,
when
I
it
can't
comes.
even explain how amazingly fantastic of an idea this is.
It clicks right on, and it goes through any layer of fabric, suspenders. We have that problem here in the desert.
See that?
They have suspenders and
we do.
jackets, and sometimes just Tommy Bahama
Oh, wow.
type shirts. So you have to have
And
something
this
that's going to hang
thing's
on.
pretty heavy duty, guys, because I mean, like, that's powerful.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And it makes it so easy for coordinators and also for photographers. You just told me that sometimes you're responsible for putting these guys on.
We are.
And
we are.
now you know from me when you see
probably
me there.
90% of the time, I'm myself am the one trying
That's
to.
It's not good.
No, it's hard because we should be photographing that.
Yeah, you should. You're the
So
photographer.
it's, but it's their first time and they don't know how to put on a boutonniere. So
But
again, that's why we recommend a wedding coordinator or day of,
Well,
somebody
that's
there to
also
help.
dealing with a professional florist who's going to be there.
Yes.
We are there from the setup, from the first look to when we get the thumbs up that it's time to go.
Right, and so I like to consider you like a full
Full
florist,
service, yep.
full service florist, because you not only customize something completely unique and style it to their venue, to their likes, but you're also there with them, making sure every single detail is perfect. I mean, I can attest to your gorgeous eucalyptus going down the center aisles of the tables, their glittering gold tablecloths, and you're over there working, and it's always perfect. There are no linen lines. There are no
do-overs.
No do-overs.
As
and
we've
so you and your team, it's you, and it's gorgeous every single time. So
we put our heart into it. So it's,
and you can tell. You can tell.
We really love to do the weddings.
It's exactly why we really consider you to be one of our highly sought after Palm Springs wedding experts, florists that we want to recommend because you're awesome, David.
Thank you so much.
And this, I don't even have to explain that. I mean, show it one more time because I think everyone deserves to see this. It's beautiful. It's not too big and it's not too small.
You can hold it here. There you go.
I would love to hold it. I'm going to take it home too. No, it's gorgeous. And like these are, I don't know if you can zoom in, but these are really awesome. I love photographing these. They're beautiful. What did you call them? With the B.
Oh, yes, the Brizia.
Brizia. Yes. I'm going to get it right one of these days. And the thistle.
Thistle. Yep.
See, I'm learning.
You're a fast learner.
This is fantastic. These are really cool. In fact, I thought they were fake. The silver leaf, and they're so soft.
This is Dusty Miller. It's beautiful.
Dusty Miller.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Okay, so why I like this as a photographer, because it doesn't cover the dress too much.
Right.
It's awesome. It's not too heavy. See, what a lot of our brides don't realize is the larger you go, the heavier bouquet it is that they have to hold during all of the things that we're doing all day long. So I think that's a balance and probably something you discuss with them as well.
And also, we're frosting on the cake. Is how I look at it.
You bring the pretty.
I know that the bride has paid a few dollars for that dress,
right?
And I'm not the star. The bride's the star. Yes. So I just want to simply accent and make her look even more beautiful with while she's holding the bouquet.
And it's so important. And this totally does that. Absolutely. So I think it's great. This magnet idea is great. It's rare. I have not seen this anywhere else. I'm just gonna say it. I haven't. Yep. It is.
We've been doing it for years here.
It's been great. So now, when you deliver this, how do we do that?
Well, it's a very special way.
I know.
A very special presentation. It's the hashtag floral first look.
Yes.
That we're come to know for, but we can do that for you.
Show us. Can you go show us?
We can show you.
Okay. Hi friends, we are here with Rick Gayling, the production specialist at David Rohr Floral Studio, and today they're going to show us the Floral First Look box and what that entails. So, guys.
The world famous.
Yeah.
Hashtag Floral First Look.
Hashtag Floral First Look.
What we do is this. We take our beautiful bouquet that we made especially for our bride, and we place it in the box. Get some paper here.
Go ahead.
Make a nice little pillow underneath. I always put my hand across to make sure that nothing's going to get crushed on top. A couple more pieces in the front for aggravation. And then a piece of paper over the top. And then, Rick, let's put it together. And we do this very carefully. It's one paper at a time, several layers, so it really increases the frustration and the buildup when they're opening up the box.
Well, it's
Have
exciting.
you ever noticed that?
I do notice. You're
right.
like, oh, one more piece, one more piece. It's kind of like Christmas and wrapping, your big surprise.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's exactly
because
what
they
it is.
have a vision of what you are creating, but, they still haven't seen it. So I think this is fantastic.
And what a way to start the wedding.
It is.
And we have the top
It's
one
very
over here.
exciting. Now this is very unique, and this is just how the bridal bouquet and maybe the bridesmaids bouquets
Depending
come.
on the number of bouquets,
right.
yeah.
So now that you've put everything into the box, what's your next step that you have?
Just start to wrap it up here.
We put the finishing touches
Nice.
on the Floral First Look.
I love that this is all white, symbolizing the wedding day, and it's obviously an eye catcher when it comes through the door. Even the bridesmaids kind of stop and wonder, what is in the box?
You should hear the people in the lobby, like in
they
the
get
hotel. We walk through,
excited.
they go, "Oh, look, a wedding!"
Absolutely.
So we achieved the effect.
Yeah,
It is a wedding.
It is
It's
a
wonderful.
wedding. They understand what's coming through the box. I love big bows. I'm a girl, and I think these are fun. And I think this other little touch that you
Tied
do
on
is
this end
very,
over here.
very special. Tell us about your ribbon.
And the ribbon is custom printed with
Uh-huh.
the couple's name and
Yeah.
the date of their wedding for a keepsake, and also to do a nice presentation and a keepsake. So it's tied around the bow here, and as you can see here, it says Palm Springs Wedding Expert, which is who we have right here.
No, it's all of us.
It's all of us.
It's all of us. That is exactly what the podcast is about. Palm Springs Wedding Experts is happy to be here at the David Rohr Floral Studio today. So please make sure to check them out if you're newly engaged, if you have an event, if you have any kind of celebration going on. They are fabulous and wonderful to work with.
Or stop by and say hello.
Stop by. Their workshop is awesome. So you can see them being creative with everything they do.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Rick
You're welcome.
and
Thank you.
David, for having me here.
See you on the
Thanks
next
for
shoot.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Palm Springs Wedding Experts Podcast, a podcast for the modern bride. Thanks for stopping by, friends, and don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel, find us on the web at palmspringsweddingexperts.com, and of course, follow us on Instagram. We'd love to connect and inspire you with our daily wedding inspiration for planning your wedding here in Palm Springs. Until next time.